Alright, YouTube. So, my last video was a video about, like welding rigs, the welding rig I use. The last one was about just what I have on my truck. That's pretty much what you need to get started. And then, so then once you get more into it, you know, you can get some more equipment. And it's pretty much what I got on my trailer here. So we're gonna go over just a quick view of what I got on here, and then this will also be a part 3 of the trailer build now that I got the whole thing together and I've been using it for a while. So yeah, pretty much we'll do a quick recap here of what I got on the back of the truck here. It's just the little MIG welder, Lincoln 180. It runs off this generator. Then I got the stick welder there. And then I found a better place to put the gas, which is up there for now. A little tool bag. Then I got the extension cord. Then I got all the stuff in the toolboxes. The leads for this SA I got right here, they're actually in this part of the toolbox right here. The reason why I did that is because that way, like, it was just a convenient way to store them, you know. I used to have them in the silver toolbox, but it wasn't really all that convenient for what I was trying to do. So anyway, back to the trailer here. This is what I've been working on, building this trailer. I got my Lincoln SA200 up here. It's a 1977. I had to, when I was in the middle of building this, the starter went out. I had to replace that starter. And then when the starter went out, for whatever reason, it shorted something out. I had to unplug the hour meter and roll the rack on the brush rack. I also relocated the battery. That's what this wire is here. The battery is supposed to be up there, but now it's wired up under here. It's just held together with some 2x6s that I cut off from a project I made, and that's pretty much just what's holding that. To get it out, all you got to do is undo these screws and it just comes right out. I also got on the deck my oxyacetylene cylinders. A lot of people come up with a lot of fancy ways to store these, and I'll show you what I did. Is I actually got a small oxygen, a larger oxygen, not the biggest, but it's fairly decent. I think that's your most common size. Then I got an acetylene cylinder here. But pretty much what I did is on the oxygen, it's just some channel iron. I don't know if you can see it there. It's just bolted to the deck, and then I drilled some holes in it and ran some ratchet straps. I got 2 of them on each of the oxygen cylinders, and then 1 of them on this. The acetylene I got at an angle so that it keeps the acetone in the bottom. It may not be, you know, textbook, but it doesn't come out of the valve, so, you know, it works. I didn't paint them yet. But that's pretty much what I came up with for the acetylene. How to, you know, keep that up in the air. It's just sitting on this, and I beveled this out. Then I came up with a triangle of some channel iron, and then put them there, and that's how I bolted that down. And then we come up to the front of it. I got 2 jacks on this. I really like using these when I'm just parking it in like a driveway and stuff, but I just got done putting this one on because where I have this thing stored indoors, it's a really tight fit, and I end up moving it around by hand a lot. It's a 2,000-pound trailer, and a lot of the weight's on the tongue, so you know, that should help a lot. It's pretty simple, man. And we can open this toolbox here. It's a pain to open it sometimes because it's pretty old. It's been recycled through about like 3 or 4 different trucks by now. Yeah, you open that up, the gas shocks are out on this, so I prop it up with a mallet generally. But in here I got my oxyacetylene stuff, I got the regulators, I got the hose, I got the wrench, some knee pads, and then my torch. And you move over here, I made a little wooden box, got some gloves there, two passive hoods there, fixed shade. Got a bunch of stick electrodes here of various sizes and types. I have a whole bunch of them, but pretty much all I run is 70-18 and 60-11. Every now and then I'll run some hard facing and some stainless. I hardly ever use the 60-13. I pretty much just bought that to practice on. Yeah, I've got various sizes of everything. And then on this side, this is where I keep some oil for the Lincoln, as it goes through it a lot. It pretty much went through almost 4 quarts already in probably about 20 hours, maybe more than 20 hours, maybe like 30 hours, but it went through pretty much a whole gallon already. I got some safety stuff here, just some gloves and one of them sleeve things. Then I got some socket sets here, they're nothing fancy. Then remove the hoods. We got some more rods. Those are the hard facing rods, and then just a can that broke on me with some 60-11 still in it, some 60-10, some grinder wheels. Then I got a bunch of wrenches, some pry bars, and you know, my striker. The little fancy angle finder, got that in there, and just some other random doodads in there. Then I got my wire brush for aluminum, that's in there. So I can stick weld aluminum. And then yeah, it's pretty simple, man. But this mostly just stays locked up inside. And then I'll whip it out for doing some big industrial repairs, and anytime I need the torches. For most stuff, even when I'm running this, I find that I generally don't ever use more than an 1/8 inch electrode. There are times I do, but for the most part, if you're just starting out, like, you know, a Champion 145 will be enough. I just got this black face here because you know, it welds a lot, really nice, it's really smooth. I got it for about the price of a brand new Champion Elite. I really like the big Lincolns. It's DC only though, so if you have to run like a drill press or something, you're gonna need a generator in there as well. But yeah, like I said, man, this is just once you start getting a little bit more into the mobile welding, you know, you can get yourself a rig like this. For the most part, you know, just this stuff here, you can get by with that, man. Actually, both the jobs I did today, I got away with just using this thing right here. Just running some 3/32 inch 6011. Some simple repairs. You know, it did it just fine. Yeah. The reason why it's on a trailer and not on the pickup bed is because, if you can see, you know, this truck, it's pretty rotted. The whole bed actually is like right where I have the stick mate. It's actually so rotten, sometimes I feel like I'm gonna fall through right here. So if I put that Lincoln on this truck, it may just, you know, the bed may just fall apart. That was the original plan, but then I looked at it and I'm like, ah, no, I'll just build a trailer, you know. So it's not the most convenient thing in the world to have a trailer for your welder. It would be more convenient to just have like a dually. If you're running this and doing it every day. But just starting out, the trailer will get you by. I made this one myself in some of my videos, and it pulls really smooth. It is way stronger than, you know, what I need, but it yeah, like, it's really nice, man. I made it how I wanted it, and it's doing good. The paint's not too great. I suck at painting, but you know, it is what it is. Overall, I think this is the way to go if you're starting out, or if you're, you know, not doing it every day and you still want to have a big welder like this. You know, as long as you have a place to store your trailer, you know, you can have a daily driver and then your working rig, you know. So it is nice in that aspect, not having to have this thing on the truck 100% of the time. But since this is pretty much primarily what I'm doing, it would be nice to eventually get a truck that can handle all that beef right there. But for now, this is pretty much what I got going on. And if you want to see how I mounted this toolbox here, it's pretty simple. I set this part of it about in the middle of this piece. I had this rounded off, and the toolbox itself is actually slightly too big to get all the way in between the rails there. If you build a 6-foot wide trailer or a 5.5 foot wide, I don't know if you can get an axle for that, but you could just drop this right in and mount it the same way you'd mount it on a full-size pickup truck. But with a 5-foot trailer, unless you do something different with your top rail, you're probably going to come up about a 1/2 inch too short. And unless you want to squeeze your toolbox together, you know, you just want to do something like I did. I got 2 bolts in there, Then we look up under here and you see a piece of angle iron bolted to the toolbox. That's pretty much how I got it together. Yeah, man, if you want to get into this, when you get past, you know, start getting some more jobs, you want to do this, you can do this with any sort of welder. You don't have to have a Lincoln. You can put a Bobcat, a Champion, pretty much anything on here, man. Tow it around. That's another thing too, man. If you only have like a Toyota Tacoma, you can tow your pipeliner with a Tacoma. You don't need some massive dually. If you already have a small little Ranger or something, it will be able to tow this. The trailer and the welder itself is only 2,000 pounds. You know, the oxygen and the acetylene plus all that probably adds about another 700. So it's about 2,700 pounds, the way it sits. And that's perfectly doable with the Tacoma. So, you know, if you want to get started and you don't have a big rig, this is the way to go. If you don't want to tow it every day, this is also the way to go. If your truck's a piece of crap and the bed's gonna fall off by putting this welder, there you go, man. Then you still have a truck to do other things. So, you know, that's pretty much my rig, man. Does it work? Hell yeah. Is it the most convenient? Nah. But I'm getting jobs, and you know, we're getting it done, man. So if this helps you, gives you ideas, you know, subscribe to the page, like this video, and I'm gonna go put this away and try and find more jobs, man. See ya. Alright, YouTube, real quick before we end this video, I want to say something. You know, a lot of people put a lot of stress into, you know, finding the perfect welding rig and, you know, buying some fancy rig, making it look all nice. I want to say something. When you're doing repair work like what I'm doing, you know, nobody cares what rig, what kind of truck you got. Nobody cares what kind of welder you got. Alright? When you show up on site, you know, you're gonna get out of your rig. You know, it doesn't matter if you're driving a $100,000 F-350 Platinum. It doesn't matter if you show up with a Jeep Wrangler towing the trailer that I showed you today. You know, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get out and you're gonna go talk to the person you need to talk to, and they're gonna be like, hey man, you know, we broke this, can you fix it? Or hey, you know, we need this built, can you build it? And you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I can do that. And then they're gonna be like, all right, this is what we want done, and you know, you're gonna do it, and if it's good, you're gonna get paid. All right, nobody cares what you show up with. All right, if you show up on a bicycle towing that generator in a stick mate, and you know, you make your welds, and you make your work good, nobody's gonna care. All right, like, a lot of people forget that, you know, your rig is only to impress yourself. Nobody else cares. All right, like, that's one thing I wanted to say before I end this video, man. All right, if you want a fancy rig, it is for yourself. It's not for your customers. Alright? Eventually, once you get going and you get one of them nice rigs, you know, like if you had an F750 with all them fancy reels and stuff, yeah, you know, you might be faster setting up. You might be faster tearing down. Alright? Then you can raise your prices a little bit. But again, that's for you. Nobody else really cares. Alright? If you're 20 minutes slower because you have to pull your leads out of a toolbox, like, it's on you. Just keep your prices a little bit lower. Alright? It's all about the quality of your work, not the fanciness of your rig. So, if you're starting out, you know, I showed you some simple ways to make a welding rig. Yeah, don't go getting an F350 Platinum if, you know, you already got a Jeep Wrangler and the skills to build a trailer like I got. You know, just keep using what you got. Once you get more jobs, then you can go get something fancy. Alright? See ya.